Hey everyone, it's the Interview Queen Alicia Atout, and I'd like to welcome you all to Knotfest exclusive interview with Jen and Jay of Jen and the Degenerates. Hello, welcome. How are you?
Hello. Well
Hi.
done for that. That's quite a tongue twister that you just had to say. So well done.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you. How's everything going over there? How's your day been so far?
Yeah, it's been good.
Been nice. It's the one weekday this week that I'm not in work at 6 a.m. So I'm very much enjoying that.
I bet. Well, I appreciate you taking some time, the one day you have away from work to spend it with us here at Knotfest is much appreciated.
There's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Well, we definitely have to talk about one of your latest singles, Girl, God, Gun. This is groovy, like as soon as it starts and then as soon as the vocals kicks in, it just has so much attitude. So where did the initial idea for this empowering kind of carefree song first spark?
Well, we do a lot of empowering and carefree at Jen and the Degenerates. That's kind of our usual motive. But basically, when you're a femme presenting person in rock music, you get asked a lot about what it's like to be a woman in music, and
right.
It's not even something that I find. It's not even a question I find frustrating in its essence. It's the fact that it's always asked, and it sometimes overshadows other things about your art or your music that I find frustrating. So it was just kind of like a really like deliberately obtuse and abstract response to that question of just like, here's a list of random stuff that I relate to as much as the term woman. And yeah, it's just a chance to like have some fun with a bit of a frustrating situation.
Yeah, as soon as I heard it, I knew exactly where you were coming from because I interview in the worlds of music and wrestling, which are both very male dominated. So when people started to interview me, it was always, oh, what's it like being a female? I'm like, I don't give a shit about being a female in this. Like, yeah, it feels great being able to be a badass sometimes, but I just want to do my thing. So the fact that you're able to just put it out there bluntly, like I love that so much in the song.
Thank you.
I remember reading sort of Kerrang and stuff when I was 12 years old, when I first sort of got into rock music and guitar music and everything. And even then, sort of like my immature brain was reading just questions like that and just going, what sort of question is that? Like, what's it like being female in X or Y? It's like, what's the answer supposed to be to that? Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just bizarre. The fact that it's still getting asked to this day, and it hasn't just gone away entirely yet is ridiculous. But yeah, Jen's lyrics on this song in particular are just possibly my favorite that she's ever written. Like the sort of the third verse in particular, I've specifically taken time to make sure I can play that and sing it at the same time, just because I want to sing along when we're live. It's fantastic. She's got so much attitude and everything.
Oh, Jay, you're so sweet.
I love that.
Try my best.
I mean, this track is out as a teaser for your debut EP, Only Alive When in Motion, which comes out March 30th. So are you both just absolutely buzzing to release this entire thing? Because I know how much time, effort, work goes into creating something like this. So now you're just kind of at those final last few steps.
Yeah, definitely. Super excited. Also slightly nervous. It's the first like big body of work we've released. It's not just a single. So obviously really hoping that it goes well and everyone enjoys it. But yeah, really excited. We've worked hard. So it'll be nice for everyone to hear it.
It's nice to be able to finally, sort of have a body of work, even if it's just an EP for now, to show people, rather than just here's a couple of different singles doing their own thing. It's like, no, here's something that we've collected together and we've spent, like you said, we've spent time on and months on and blood, sweat, tears, etc. To actually be able to go, okay, here's a representation of what we are in a few songs. It's nice. It's lovely.
Yeah, and like one of the songs, Adore Me, I wrote when I was like 17. So it's kind of crazy that it's finally going to be out into the world. And yeah, so it really does feel like us. It's like some newer stuff we've written together and songs like that have been around for a while. So yeah, it really feels like a good first step into the world of releasing.
I'd love to know more about the blood, sweat, and tears that Jay mentioned there, because when it comes to the EP being your debut out there, I mean, just tell me about putting the whole thing together. When you reflect, are there any kind of standout moments, whether the moment you finished the thing or just something funny that happened in the studio together?
I mean, I cut Jay's hair halfway through the studio because it was getting a bit long.
Yeah. I love how that's the thing that's brought up. That's
funny things that happen. We're always doing stupid shit. Like, I don't know if I can swear. We're always doing stupid things. Oh, good. But yeah, we're always doing stupid stuff. But I remember cutting Jay's hair like midway through the studio, because we like to have some time afterwards to decompress, and that always ends up as drinks, and then that always ends up as someone's hair getting cut or something like that.
Yeah, there was a lot of chess playing on the recording of this.
Oh yeah, I smashed everyone at chess apart from Corbin, who was like the co-producer, production assistant, and he is like a little child genius, and I hate him.
It was ridiculous. It was all like the 5 band members and then our 2 sort of producers all living in what felt like someone's like grandma's house that we'd sort of rented out for the week. And so we'd be in the studio together all day, and then we'd come home and it'd be like just all of us sat around the table drinking and watching each other sort of play chess and lose inevitably to Jen, you know. But that's kind of the vibe we want for those things. We want to all be sort of, you know, some people will go, oh God, you know, everyone living together like that for sort of 5 days. But I think for us, we're sort of also close and everything, that it just felt right to be able to sort of just experience that. Felt
absolutely.
like we were living in a sitcom.
Well,
it's so funny. I'm always like, I'm not that competitive, and then we tell stories like me just like sitting and beating everyone at chess, or like being backstage at Burn It Down and like arm wrestling the other bands. Like I honestly, I get like 2 drinks in me.
I think you are a little competitive.
Maybe a little bit.
I mean, I'd love to go back to where you mentioned you're always up to crazy shit. Of course, you are self-coined the Degenerates. So, I mean, do you all have a crazy side, like each person in the band, sorry?
Yeah, definitely. Jake's the most relaxed, I'd say, but even he has his moments.
We've all kind of got our sort of distinct own little vibe, but then when we all come together, if it's just a couple of us hanging out together or whatever, we'll probably just sit and chat and have a good time. But when it's all 5 of us together, there's just mayhem. A level of mayhem, chaos, degeneracy. We refer to ourselves as the hive mind sometimes, because we are all just we can look at each other and we know what we're thinking. You know, if we all have the same idea at the same time, you know, we can just sort of look at each other and we just know, you know. So it's always, you know, we try our best to not sort of alienate people that we're meeting for the first time, because it can end up that we start a conversation with someone and before we know it, it's just us 5 chatting amongst ourselves with some stupid in-joke, you know. But it's, you know, I think it contributes to the songwriting, us sort of being on that level with each other. You know, we can communicate so well with each other that it's you know, there's never an ego fighting for a particular song or riff or whatever. It's all, you know.
Oh, that's fantastic. And of course, there's a lot on the horizon other than just the EP, as you have a couple of tours and festivals coming up. So when it does come to live shows, what would you say is the one thing that you happen to miss the most about being on stage and just simply seeing all of your fans in front of you?
That's so nice that you say all your fans, as if we have loads of fans. I appreciate that.
There's a lot for our ego, so thanks.
They will be coming out to these gigs. They're going to be packed.
To be fair, we are at the point where we have fans, but I kind of just think that they're all our friends and they're like just doing a really nice favor. And then I remember like, no, they're like, you know, they're here to like watch the show. I'm like, oh hi, how's it going?
Just kind of assume that they're like a friend of a friend or something, or it's like, oh, someone else in the band knows them. But then we all go, no, we don't. That's someone who genuinely just enjoys our music, and
that's fun. So yeah,
cool.
Seeing those people, it would be nice to see our who we think are our best friends, but they're just random people. It would be nice to see them. And
I just missed on. Sorry, Jen, go on.
Yeah, you go ahead, Jay.
Thank you very much. I think for me it's just that like half hour that we play, because it's usually just half an hour at the moment, you know, it's all the build up to that, and it's all that matters. And it's, I don't know, I go into some sort of trance state in that half an hour where it just flies by and I'm just not, you know, I'm not actively thinking, I'm just doing, you know. And I just get so exactly, in the moment. And it's sort of, it's where I most feel myself without meaning to sound like a prick, you know. It's my natural sort of happy place, you know. So it's always just, whenever we're going on tour, it's just the build up to that, you know. It's just the build up to that half an hour, and then it's all of a sudden gone. It's like, right, next day, let's do it again, you know. Yeah,
I think also this probably goes back to my competitive streak, as I love the shift in energy after we get off stage. So like there'll be, I think often people won't expect us to be as high energy and as good as we are, because we're a relatively new band. So I love walking on stage to an audience that is probably a lot of people who don't know us yet, and walking off and hearing everyone go, they were fucking sick, they were really good. I love that, like that kind of like underdog moment of being like, yeah, we fucking rocked it.
Hell yeah.
I like that a lot.
I love that. I mean, speaking to the whole festival atmosphere and setting, if you each were to give me 3 bands to create your own festival, who would be headlining this thing?
Jen and the Degenerates. No.
Easy.
No. Jay, you go first.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to be the cliched sort of metalhead guy, because my favorite band ever are Metallica, and I just want to see them every time. So they'll headline, obviously. I'll bring in Deftones to support, because again,
Nice.
I'm a basic metal bitch. They're just one of the best bands ever. And then who else would I have? Who else? Let's just go for something else really ridiculous. Let's have Lady Gaga underneath. Let's just like totally mix this up.
Oh my god, I love that. That's sick.
How about you, Jen?
I'd really like to see 9 Inch Nails. So 9 Inch Nails would be good. The show I wanted to go see at the Eden Project in Cornwall is sold out already, so I'm just going to put them there for my inconvenience, so I can see them then. And I don't know. I like the shout of just Lady Gaga. I like the idea of just doing someone completely different, but also Halsey just had their record done by 9 Inch Nails, so maybe there was support, or vice versa.
That's
and then they could go out and maybe do some kind of on-stage collab, since you got both of them.
Yeah, that would be cool. And then us.
Okay, I would attend this.
Then we
Nicely
get
done.
like the boost of being on such a massive show. So
Of course,
yeah.
No one have it any other way.
Absolutely.
The last thing I want to ask about is something that I saw on your Twitter page that had me dying, and it was simply a tweet that said, "Why are millennials so into shit like Alice in Wonderland?" So did you ever find the answer?
Oh my god, I was like, as soon as you were like, I saw on your Twitter, I was like, oh no.
You're like, oh no.
That's a gamble, that Twitter account. Every time I look, it's either you Jen or Evan just tweeting weird stuff, and I love it, even if I don't fully understand it.
And no, I don't have the answer. Basically, I've got I've got cousins and family and friends who are in that like slightly older age bracket of millennials, and just the stuff, I guess it's just things that are cultural touchstones to them that just aren't relatable for our generation in terms of cultural touchstones. I'll be like, why are they so into that? But then probably, the next generation are going to say that about stuff that we're really into. So
Right.
I guess that's the answer.
Well,
they already are, aren't they?
Yeah, for real. Well, Jen, Jay, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time, for hopping on here and shooting the breeze with Knotfest. We really do appreciate it. And of course, best of luck with everything that is coming up for you both.
Thank you so much for putting up with us. We've had a great time.
I love hearing it. To everyone watching, this has been Jen and the Degenerates. Be sure to check out knotfest.com for plenty more exclusive interviews and features. And we will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.